I'm being hosted today at the Barclays Eagle Labs in Cardiff, and I'm delighted to welcome along Chris Skinner, who's the Ecosystem Manager here at Barclays Eagle Labs. Hello, Christopher.
Hi Martin, thanks for popping down today. Looking forward to sharing a bit more about what Eagle Labs and my role is here in Cardiff.
Excellent. Thank you very much for hosting us in your very own podcast suite, which is a bit different. So we are definitely moving upmarket with our podcasts. So thanks again for Chris for hosting us today. So without further ado, Chris, tell us all about Barclays Eagle Labs.
So Barclays Eagle Labs is the home of UK startups. We're a well-balanced proposition to help innovators and founders start and scale their businesses. So we run a number of dedicated programs to support that transition of scaling, ranging from our funding readiness programs for when there's a need for investment, to mentors to best support our founders with some key points of contact to help them on that upward trajectory. In addition to that, we run a series of events, both locally here in Cardiff, across our national proposition, and virtually as well. So, like I say, a pretty holistic, well-rounded view to sort of support. We also have some dedicated programs to support our Black founders, LGBTQ plus programs, and veteran founder programs as well.
So Eagle Labs, my understanding, has been going for circa 6 years across the UK.
Yep.
And the objectives obviously are to help sort of mentor and facilitate growth in a lot of the startup businesses which come onto the radar. Obviously, you guys have based yourself in Tramshed Tech, which is one of the key tech startup hubs in South Wales. And obviously, I understand you're looking to gain a presence over in Bristol as well, possibly in the future. What sort of businesses, I appreciate we're looking at sort of tech startup businesses, but any particular businesses in that sphere you're looking for? They have to be very ambitious, strong growth plans. What is your ideal business? For people who are potentially listening to this, what are you looking for?
So there's nothing specific that we sort of look for in terms of the support available. What's really great with the partnership we've got here at Tramshed Tech is they've got a startup academy that's run alongside Google, and that's literally from idea stage, where businesses are looking at sort of just getting their feet off the ground, understanding a bit more sort of business and commercial acumen, going through the real basics of setting up a business. We're then on hand here and the wider sort of South Wales community, and now venturing over into Bristol to sort of share what we're able to offer in terms of that support. There's no set sort of rigid format that we run with, because the businesses and individuals we come across are all unique. So there's not one size fits all in terms of what we're looking for. We're just looking to give all the best opportunities. With our industry sort of verticals and specialities, is predominantly tech. Like I mentioned earlier, we do have some fantastic programs for Black founders, LGBTQ plus, female founders. Not all of those businesses are tech based, but what we are allowing is a network for them to build on of like-minded individuals to share their experiences, the journeys of what they've gone through. One from supporting them and their business, but building that wider network. An opportunity to vent as well, because nothing goes straightforward in business. So it's being able to support when things don't go good, and they're able to speak to cohorts of like-minded individuals who are all ambitious, enthusiastic individuals that just need that helping hand from time to time. So there's no set sort of process of what we're looking for in terms of turnover, headcount, ambitions, etc. We are predominantly tech focused, so we do have some industry verticals where we're able to offer that additional support. So hypothetically, look at Lincoln, for example. We've got a lab farm up there. I'm looking to draw on some of the expertise that we have at the Lincoln farm to share with our West Wales sort of ecosystem as well. So like I say, I am Cardiff, but I am branching along that M4 corridor, just on the other side of the Severn Bridge, but also down west. The one thing we're blessed with here in Wales is a fantastic landscape to sort of share our proposition of how industry is changing, how tech is changing. So like I say, there's no rigid format, but we do have some real good industries and industry tech which we're able to really support the national proposition.
And just to sort of clarify, Chris, is there a requirement for, is this support only being delivered to Barclays customers? Do they need, is that a criteria that they need to be, they have to be a Barclays customer? Or is the plan, here's all this support, here's all this help and guidance, with a view then that, at the appropriate time when they need the sort of facilities that Barclays corporate commercial have to offer, that, you'll be there front of the line?
So essentially, no. The service we offer here in terms of our proposition and virtual membership is completely free. And that's whether you're a Barclays client or a non-Barclays client. And our resource is there to sort of help the startup and scale-up industry really have the best support they can. We're very unique in the marketplace at the moment in terms of our proposition, and we just want to be that helping hand to help those businesses get off the ground. I'd like to think that, there is that need of, we've got a wider business banking proposition behind it. What's really nice as part of my role profile now is I'm able to do the account opening and be that local point of contact to support the businesses here, which I'm dealing with. But also, like I say, geography is an issue, so I'm quite happy to be that dedicated point of contact for our businesses which aren't based on direct patch here in Cardiff. It's not a requirement by us that you bank with us. What I would like to think is that with the support that we're able to offer, not from just from an Eagle Labs perspective, but as a holistic Barclays proposition. Because like I say, we've got some really good aspects of our business from our corporate bank and our corporate banking networks. So our retail proposition, our retail network with local branches, community touch points where there aren't branches. It is a nice holistic proposition we're able to offer, and I'd like to think that if we look after people, they'll choose us to be their bankers, but it's not an essential requirement.
And for those sort of early stage businesses who are potentially listening to this podcast, hopefully, and they're looking to sort of reach out to Eagle Labs, and say if they're not, clearly if they're based in the local area, I'm assuming they can just pop in and say hello and get the conversation going. But for those further afield, where would they best go to sort of get access to this information or reach out to get in touch with you guys?
So all the information for Eagle Labs is on our website. Provides a real nice comprehensive review of what we're able to offer. It's recently been updated, super easy to navigate. There's also links there for you to join us. Also our locations are on there. So if you're not just local here to Cardiff, but also wherever you're based in the UK, like I say, it's a case where we've got labs across the UK, so you've got those local touch points. Like I say, hopefully as we plan to grow and scale Eagle Labs, there'll be more locations a bit local to individuals, because I want to make sure that support is there nationally for people. But like I say, it's a case where our website's the best point of contact to just have a quick look, and if you want to look at virtual membership, you can join through that. Furthermore, if you'd like any additional information, feel free to email me, which is christopher.skinner@barclays.com.
So thanks very much for that, Chris. That's really helpful. Appreciate with confidentiality, we can't name names, but is there a business which you've had involvement with that's sort of taken advantage of the membership with Eagle Labs, that's sort of gone on and been, what we all like to see, the success story of sort of scaling up and, coming from a early stage business to, moving into your sort of commercial corporate banking, should we say?
Absolutely. So, it's probably one of my proudest achievements from, as you know, my previous role was in the mass affluent relationship management space. And this client I introduced to Eagle Labs 5 years ago. At that point, they were a one-man band, healthy turnover, it was sort of 400,000 turnover. But I had a number of concerns that he was the main income earner for the household. If anything's happened to him, essentially the business would stop trading, and with a family, children, etc. in the background, it was always an underlying concern of mine. Not just that, like I say, well-being is a massive part of what I'm looking to do here in Cardiff, and that's always played on my mind of sort of well-being, not just for colleagues, but also my clients who I look after. And the one thing I understood there was the necessity to sort of scale via the introduction to Eagle Labs, we were able to put him in front of a business coach who was able to run through some key elements of him and ways we could look to scale that business. Subsequently, the business now has been with Eagle Labs for 5 years. Husband and wife are both members. As the business has scaled, so is the necessity to adopt the new premises and start recruiting more staff. What's really nice is the staff that they are recruiting are young, talented individuals from South Wales. The business has gone from being at home and on-site business to now having their own premises with 25 plus workforce, and subsequently the business has gone from 400,000 turnover to 14 million. Through the growth plan with our mentors, wife is now registered on our female founder programs, so is able to not only share what her and her business are doing, but also able to offer a bit of a mentor service to our other members who are on the female founders programs, whether that's from a networking or well-being or financial acumen side of things. It's all been reflected and filtered down to be able to support others within our community. Like I say, subsequently we've been able to support not only from the Eagle Labs and the mentors that we're able to offer, but also in terms of the banking proposition. So where it's sat with our telephony team in our startup business management team, it's now with our mid-corporate team where we're looking at a number of facilities and products to support them. What was really nice and really value add from my perspective is, like I say, allude to the fact that they were a £400,000 turnover one-man band, to having a offer on the table to buy the business for a couple of million back last year, which would have allowed the husband and wife to retire, subsequent retirement opportunities for the children, and multiple income streams available through investments. However, seeing the value they were adding to their wider family, the children, the impact they were making, the enjoyment that they now had in their business, and the reward of seeing that scale and grow, they chose to decline the offer. And I think this business now has grown to a point where it's going to be handed through the generations. And as I say, that's probably my proudest moment, was identifying that necessity to scale and having the backing of Eagle Labs then, and the proposition that we do have to be able to support around that.
That's fantastic, Chris. What a great success story, and for you to be involved all the way along that process. Is there anything you've got coming up that you think would be of interest in sharing to our listeners?
Keep an eye out on the Tramshed Tech website for events, and that's on LinkedIn and Twitter. In addition to that, we've also got our Eagle Labs Twitter page and LinkedIn pages where our events are also shared. That's not just our local ones, but our national ones as well. It may be worth touching with your local points of contact if you've had a look at our website for our locations, and see what's going on in your area. But moving forward, like I say, a hybrid approach to some of our events will be adopted, so geography shouldn't matter for where you are. But like I say, it's a case where just keep an eye out, and the industry ones will be becoming more and more frequent into next year locally here in Cardiff.